Hello, good evening. Good evening, all the students who have joined. Venkatadri, Rambabu, Rakesh Kumar, Sakshi, Deepesh. Very good evening. Can you confirm if I am clearly audible? Can someone please confirm in the comment section if I am clearly audible to you? Good evening, very good evening, all of you. Please confirm if I am clearly audible. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, can we put the preview so that I can also see? Okay. All right. I hope all of you are doing well, studying well. This is our second class of the Hindu newspaper analysis by Tathastu ICS. I am Anushka Mishra with you. You might have seen me on the social media page of Tathastu ICS. Today we are going to discuss the Hindu newspaper for the 9th of May. आज ज़्यादा न्यूज़ नहीं थी, but I have picked whatever I could so that उस न्यूज़ से लिंक करके we can revise our static information. Do I need to increase the volume or is it clearly audible, because that will cause a pause. All right. So today we have 3 articles to discuss in the Hindu newspaper for today. The first one is DRDO and Indian Air Force conduct maiden trial of Tara glide weapon system. Okay. So DRDO, which is Defense Research Organization of our country, along with the Indian Air Force, has conducted maiden trial of the Tara glide weapon system. Maiden trial, maiden मतलब for the very first time. जब आप किसी टेक्नोलॉजी को टेस्ट कर रहे हैं for the very first time, that is called a maiden trial, and it is the Tara glide weapon system. What is it? We will discuss clearly when we come to the article. Glide weapons क्या होते हैं? How are they different from cruise and ballistic missiles? We'll discuss all of that. This can be linked to our GS paper 3, internal security, as well as it becomes important from our prelims point of view. The second article that we are going to discuss is Bangladesh failed to give actionable response, India. So recently illegal immigration का issue काफी चर्चा में है, and Bangladesh had alleged कि if India tries to push immigrants back, I mean, see the hypocrisy that illegal immigration उस तरफ से हो रही है, but the Bangladesh government said that if the Indian government tries to push immigrants back into the Bangladesh border, then we will take that very seriously and everything like that. So that prompted the Indian side to issue a diplomatic statement wherein they stated कि उन्होंने बहुत बार बांग्लादेश को inform किया है about this issue of illegal immigration, but they have not received any clear response from their side. Okay, we'll discuss this news as well. This becomes important from our GS paper 2 section, international relations, India-Bangladesh relations. Third news that we are going to discuss is NITI Aayog flags low student retention and learning outcomes. NITI Aayog released a report wherein it stated that education outcomes among children are very meager. They are very low. We will discuss this report in detail. We will discuss educational reforms in brief, given the time that we have. This can be linked to GS paper 1, social issues, and GS paper 2 in the governance and social justice section. Why do I pinpoint this linkage? Because it's very important that whatever we are studying, we should be able to link it to our syllabus. Only then will it create a mind map in our minds. Only then we will be able to memorize that information clearly. अगर हमें यही नहीं पता होगा कि वो syllabus में कहाँ पर आती है, then how will we study? You know, that will be directionless study. Let's move on to the first article. I can see people are still joining. Hello, very good evening. We have just started. Please pay attention in the class. First article is this. DRDO, Indian Air Force, conducted the maiden trial of the TARA weapon system. TARA का full form है Tactical Advanced Range Augmentation Weapon. TARA is India's first indigenous glide weapon system. This becomes very, very important because it is indigenous and it is India's first indigenous glide weapon system capable of converting conventional unguided warheads into precision guided weapons for accurately engaging ground-based targets. Very complex sound कर रहा है. We'll simplify it. सबसे पहले glide weapons क्या होते हैं? You must have heard कि ballistic missiles क्या होती है, cruise missiles क्या होती हैं, bombs क्या होते हैं. वैसे ही a type of weapon system is glide weapons. Glide weapons ऐसे डिजाइन किए जाते हैं that when you release them from an aircraft, as you can see here, कि this is the TARA glide weapon system, this is the aircraft. जब इसको release किया जा रहा है from the air to the surface target, then इस system को किसी इंजन की जरूरत नहीं होती, किसी रॉकेट बूस्टर की जरूरत नहीं होती. इसे इस तरह से डिजाइन किया जाता है. It is designed in such a manner that it will glide with the gravity of the earth. It is designed in such ways, इसकी aerodynamics को यूज करके इसके wings दिए जाते हैं. इसमें एक navigation system लगाया जाता है जिसकी मदद से this weapon system glides down and hits the target. What is the benefit? Very good evening, Santosh ji. Please focus here. What happens इसमें कि आपका जो rocket लगना था along with your missile, which is there in a conventional missile system, वो cost बच जाती है. This makes glide weapon system cheaper. This makes it more effective. Now, let's discuss. What is a glide weapon? A glide weapon or a glide bomb is a conventional bomb fitted with wings, navigation kit and a guidance system. So it is just like a conventional bomb, but उसको एक अपना GPS दे दिया जाता है. उसको ऐसे डिजाइन किया जाता है कि उसका एक विंग स्पैन होता है जो उसको हवा के साथ ग्लाइड करने में हेल्प करेगा. And that after release from aircraft, it glides unpowered towards the target. मतलब once it is released, it does not need any external power source to help it. It will glide unpowered towards the target. It uses GPS, it uses aerodynamic lifts, it uses controls. What are the important features? No rocket engine is required. It has longer strike range than ordinary bombs, and aircraft can strike from a safer distance. यानी कि because it is fitted with a navigation system, with a guidance system, so the aircraft can release it from a safer distance, and that navigation system will help the bomb glide through and hit the target. All right? Hello, very good evening, all of the people who have joined. Hello, Nupur. Hello, Sandeep. Focus here. So, certain examples of the glide weapon system: the US JDAM-ER weapon system, Russia's FAB glide bombs, France का hammer kit, and now India's TARA. You might be wondering ki how is this glide system different from cruise missile? A lot of you might be confusing the two. So let me explain to you the difference. First, let's understand the difference between an ordinary bomb and a glide bomb. and then we'll discuss the ballistic, cruise and glide difference. सबसे पहले, an ordinary bomb does not have any guidance. It is just released, directly hits the target, right? I mean, उसमें क्योंकि कोई navigation system नहीं होता है, तो आपको, if this is the target, you have to come this close or this close above the target and you have to drop the bomb so that it hits the target. So aircraft भी risk zone में आ जाता है. It does not have a guidance system, whereas a glide bomb has GPS or the INS or a laser guidance system. Because it does not have a guidance system, its range is very. What is the safer distance if proximate? See, we don't have to go into the numbers literally, because this will never be asked in the UPSC exam that what is safer distance, what is not. जब हम geographical scale पे बात करते हैं तो it runs into thousands of kilometers. Okay, this range is very short, इसकी range is extended. Accuracy an ordinary bomb की low होती है, because when you drop it there is no guarantee that it will hit the target. But because glide weapons are fitted with navigation systems, so they are smart, they will hit the target, the accuracy will be high. The cost is cheaper for ordinary bombs, whereas for glide weapons it is moderate, it is not very high, because they do not require any rocket propellers or engines to glide through. Survivability, the aircraft is vulnerable because it is in the danger zone, and here the aircraft can fire the bomb from a safer standoff and it can venture out. Alright. Advantages. Aircraft can attack without entering the enemy air defense zone. It is cheaper than a cruise missile. It converts old bombs into modern smart weapons. It has better accuracy. It reduces ammunition wastage. Very right. If it will be accurate, तो ammunition wastage भी कम हो जाएगी. It enhances the indigenous defense manufacturing and reduces import dependence, and it is useful in mountainous and maritime warfare. Very true. If India is building it indigenously, then it is helping in Atmanirbhar Bharat. It is helping India boost its defense capabilities. And now we'll discuss this. Why is it cheaper than cruise missiles? What are cruise missiles? Very, very briefly, we'll discuss that. So, you have heard ballistic missiles. You have heard cruise missiles, right? And these are these glide bombs. So, ballistic missiles ka to we know that they are big missiles. They are huge missiles. Like intercontinental range जो होती है, एक continent से दूसरी continent तक, they are ICBMs. They are ballistic missiles. They follow an arc trajectory. Like this is the target, this is the missile launching center. So missile will follow an arc. This is arc, not as an arc. It will exit the Earth's atmosphere for a brief moment and then it will enter it from another space. एक arc trajectory होती है. Whereas for cruise missiles, what happens? If this is the target, so the cruise missile will travel like this. It is a terrain hugging missile. It is a low terrain missile. If this is the terrain, a cruise missile will travel close to the terrain and it will chase the target, it will hit the target. Similarly, a glide bomb is fired from an aircraft. Okay, this is an aircraft, this is the target. This aircraft will fire the missile here, the missile will use its laws of aerodynamics and it will hit the target. Alright, so I hope you've understood this difference. Now let's move on to the next news. Bangladesh failed to give actionable response, India. Here is the news. Bangladesh Foreign Minister Khalidur Rahman and Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed, who had said that Dhaka would take adequate measures if attempts at push-in from the Indian side were to take place. Okay. So, uspe India has said that India has sent over 1,000 diplomatic notes and 456 consolidated reminders to Dhaka since September 2020 regarding the repatriation of suspected illegal Bangladeshi immigrants, but we have not received an actionable response. Diplomatic notes are a method of diplomatic communication, and it is an informal method of exchange. तो वहां पर India has sent more than 1000 diplomatic notes since September 2020, but we have not received an actionable response from the side of the Bangladeshi government. इस पूरे न्यूज को डिस्कस करते हुए let's quickly revise India-Bangladesh border. Then we'll come back to this dispute. Okay? As you can see in this map, this is India, this is the boundary between India and Bangladesh. Let us recall the boundary states. First is West Bengal, Meghalaya. Sorry, this is West Bengal, Meghalaya. This is Assam. This is the boundary. This is the boundary with Assam. Then there is Tripura. There is Mizoram. So how many states share a boundary with Bangladesh? It is West Bengal, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. All right. The boundary is 4096.7 kilometer long with Bangladesh. It is one of the longest land borders India has. All right. इसके अलावा we also share a maritime boundary with Bangladesh. You can see this is the Bay of Bengal here, and these are all waters. We also share a maritime boundary with Bangladesh. All right. And इसको लेकर ever since the liberation of Bangladesh, after the Bangladesh Liberation War of 1971, हम इसे resolve कर रहे हैं, both the maritime and the land boundaries. So 3326 kilometer has been approved, 29,954 kilometer has been fenced, and 371 kilometer is still unfenced. Fencing मतलब boundary में fence create करना, दीवार, electric fencing, mechanical fencing. There are different methods, but the problem with India and Bangladesh is that at a lot of places the boundary is not clearly demarcated, as well as at a lot of places the border is very porous, because we know this is a riverine area. India से Ganga, Brahmaputra and many rivers, approximately 54 rivers are shared between India and Bangladesh. So these rivers make these border areas very riverine, very marshy. So that there are a lot of छोटे छोटे islands located यहाँ पे. So that makes it difficult. That makes it difficult to create a proper boundary there. All right. Land boundary पे भी dispute है, maritime boundary पे भी dispute है. Regarding the maritime boundary dispute, in 2009, this matter went to the UNITAOS, which is the UN International Tribunal on Sea. वहाँ पर ये matter गया. उसके बाद 2011 में it went to the PCA, which is the Permanent Court of Arbitration in Hague, and there it was decided finally कि जो जितना भी disputed area है उसका 1/5 बांग्लादेश को allot कर दिया गया. All right. I'm sure you must remember UNCLOS के तहत जो boundary demarcation होता है. For example, if this is the continental shelf, तो यहाँ तक आपके internal waters होते हैं, internal waters. Then उसके अगले 12 nautical miles तक it is the territorial sea. Then the next 12 miles is the contiguous zone, and यहाँ से 200 nautical miles is the exclusive economic zone. Beyond that is the high seas area. All right. Okay. Apart from this, both the countries also have a land boundary disagreement. इसको लेकर भी 1974 there was a land boundary agreement between India and Bangladesh, and in 2015 100th constitutional amendment pass किया गया था when the current incumbent government came to power, and उसके तहत 111 enclaves were transferred to Bangladesh, and 51 or 54, I'm forgetting the correct number, which is not very important, they were transferred back to India. ठीक है, तो ये लैंड बाउंड्री अग्रीमेंट हमने किया था. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, यू मस्ट रिमेंबर इट. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट सर्टेन इश्यूज स्टिल रिमेन. Let's discuss those issues. They are illegal migration, cattle smuggling, human trafficking and cross-border crime. जिसमें से illegal migration is a very big issue. In fact, after the Bangladesh Liberation War, this illegal migration became so rampant, it increased to such an extent that neighboring states में, especially Assam में, especially Tripura में, वहाँ की demography ही पूरी change हो गई because of this illegal immigration. These states started having protests and henceforth the Assam Accords were signed. The Assam Accords were signed in 1985, जहाँ पर एक डेडलाइन फिक्स कर दी गई थी. आई थिंक इट वाज जनवरी 1st, देन इट वाज मार्च 1st 1971 फॉर इंडियन नेशनल्स, कि इसके पहले अगर आप इंडिया में एंटर कर चुके थे या तब तक आप इंडिया में थे, देन यू विल बी कॉल्ड एन इंडियन नेशनल, रेस्ट यू विल बी कॉल्ड अ इलीगल इमिग्रेंट. एंड उसके बाद एनआरसी का इशू वी आर सीइंग, सीएए वी हैव सीन, ऑल ऑफ इट इज समवेयर लिंक्ड very much to the issue of illegal immigration into India from the Bangladesh side. All right. इसके अलावा there is issue of cattle smuggling, there is issue of human trafficking, there is issue of cross-border crime. Okay. India has adopted certain methods which I was saying कि दीवार खड़ी करना, using flood lighting, using smart fencing, using sensors, using drones, using river patrols. In fact, India and Bangladesh also do a patrolling exercise to curb this illegal immigration. And a very innovative proposal that has been put forward by the BSF, which is the Border Security Force, which manages the India-Bangladesh border, is the use of reptiles. 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 Yes, you heard it right. Reptiles like snakes and crocodiles in the riverine areas which form the boundary of these two nations, वहाँ पर इन reptiles को release किया जाए in a phased systematic manner, so that will deter people from using these rivers, using these riverine areas, these marshy areas to cross over into India. Because land routes पे तो there is fencing, there is patrolling, तो illegal routes तो यही सारे होते हैं, these hidden routes. तो वहां पर this proposal is under discussion, this will be adopted. तो फिर ये एक देखा जाएगा, we will cover it in news analysis. Recently there was a news article on it as well. All right. And with regards to Bangladesh, India's political relations with Bangladesh have gone through a lot of ups and downs. At the time of liberation, our political relations with Bangladesh, diplomatic relationships were very nice. Someone is asking, how is it possible with reptiles, ma'am? As I told you that the border is very porous, you know. India and Bangladesh ka border, you can see there are a lot of rivers. There is the Brahmaputra river which enters here, which is called the Jamuna. There is the Ganga river which enters, which is called the Padma. There is the Teesta river जिसके बीच में India and Bangladesh के बीच में dispute होता है जिसको लेकर, and these two meet and they form the Meghna river. All right. So these border areas में ना, because it is the Brahmaputra basin here, it is the Ganga river basin here, these areas are very marshy. This is not a clear land border. These areas are marshy. These borders are porous. There are a lot of small rivers, lakes, ponds, floodplains, marshy islands situated here, and that are being used by migrants to cross over into India, because no proper land fencing can be created over them. So their reptiles will be released. It is still under discussion. It is not, but it is not. It is a serious matter. It is seriously being considered by the forces. So I was telling you that India-Bangladesh ka political relations have gone through a lot of ups and downs ever since the Bangladesh liberation war happened, and post that, today both the countries are members. They are members in SAARC. They are members in BIMSTEC, important regional alliances. We carry a lot of import and export trade with Bangladesh, and in fact Bangladesh is India's second largest trading partner in Asia, if I'm not sure. Second largest trading partner in Asia, India का Bangladesh है. So both the countries have an important economic relationship, an economic, diplomatic, political relationship. People to people contacts are very flourishing. So henceforth, Bangladesh is an important neighbor in regional stability of India in the South Asian region, and henceforth the government will eventually take steps to curb this issue of illegal immigration as well as strengthen relations with Bangladesh. Now, let's quickly discuss the third news. The third news is NITI Aayog flags low student retention and learning outcomes. ठीक है, तो रिपोर्ट का नाम क्या था? I hope this is visible. Let me just zoom in once more. All right. The report was named School Education System in India, Temporal Analysis and Policy Roadmap for Quality Enhancement. तो इसमें कहा गया कि the Indian education system resembles a pyramid. ठीक है, it resembles a pyramid, जहां पर बेस में at the basic level, early level, elementary level, there are a lot of schools. The schools, primary schools are 7.3 lakh. But as we go upwards, higher secondary schools are over 1.64 lakh. Like, yahan par primary schools, and as we go up and up and up the ladder, the number of schools go on decreasing, the number of dropouts goes on increasing. Yani school students ko retain nahi kar pa rahe hain. There is low student retention, there is weak learning outcomes, and there are high dropout rates. This was highlighted by this NITI Aayog report. The dropout issue, nearly 4 out of every 10 students drop out before completing higher secondary education. This was highlighted in the report कि हर 10 में से 4 बच्चे अपनी secondary education complete किए बिना ही drop out कर जाते हैं स्कूल से. Only 5.4% schools offer a continuous journey from grade 1 to grade 12. And इसके बहुत सारे reasons भी offer किए गए. Reasons था, student retention sharply declines after class 8th. The reason was transition to distance secondary schools. Because in a lot of rural areas, what happens is primary schools, because it is a fundamental right, Article 21A of the Constitution guarantees right to education to children aged 6 to 14 years. But this right to elementary education ends at 14 years. So after that, when students have to move beyond class 8th, in rural areas mein schools nahi hote. They have to travel longer distances, especially for women, for girl child. They have to travel longer distances to just to attend schools, and a lot of times it results in dropouts. Because there are transport barriers, there are connectivity barriers. Although the government is building the roads and rural infrastructure, it is building connectivity through the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, but still there are connectivity issues. There are transportation barriers. There is cost burden. I mean, a lot of people in rural areas especially face huge poverty. So it is difficult for them to bear the expenses of higher education. Right, India faces poor foundational literacy and numeracy. We'll discuss about that as well. There is lack of infrastructure. There is a digital divide. The report recommends that convert single stage schools into composite schools. And also there is this problem. In these schools, a lot of times for women especially, the infrastructure is not up to date. The bathrooms are in a dilapidated condition. Electricity nahi hoti. Teacher training is not up to the mark. All of these problems dissuade students from going to school, from continuing higher education. And the report recommends that the government should convert single stage schools into composite schools. I mean, students shouldn't have to switch after class 8. They should have to go to another school. Then after 10th, they should have to pick another school. Then for higher education, they don't have to keep switching like that. Government should build composite schools from class 1 to class 12 where quality education is provided in these schools itself. All right, this was the recommendation of the report. Now we'll quickly see two important initiatives with regards to education. First is the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, which was launched in 2018. It is an integrated scheme for school education from pre-primary to class 12. It merged three existing schemes, which was the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, then it was this scheme, then it was the teacher education scheme. These three schemes were merged and created into an umbrella scheme called the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. इसमें किस पर फोकस था? फोकस था स्कूल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बिल्ड करने पर, टीचर्स की ट्रेनिंग पर, डिजिटल एजुकेशन पर, इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन पर, फोकस ऑन इम्प्रूविंग लर्निंग आउटकम्स, and Nipun Bharat Mission. Nipun Bharat Mission is what Venkatadri is saying, that it seeks to improve foundational literacy, basic numeracy, basic literacy up to class 3, grade 3 तक basic literacy तो आनी ही चाहिए. ये फोकस है निपुण भारत मिशन का, फाउंडेशनल लिटरेसी पर फोकस है. And that this scheme is subsumed under the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. Another important flagship scheme is the PM Poshan scheme. It was earlier called the midday meal scheme. It was renamed PM Poshan in 2021. It seeks to improve nutrition of school children and increase attendance and retention. It covers pre-primary to class 8th in government schools. इसके तहत पोषण वाटिकास कंडक्ट की जाती हैं schools में. Apart from providing midday meals, there is Tithi Bhoj, wherein the community comes together to create nutritious meal for the public, public school के students. And henceforth it has been named the Poshan scheme because the midday meal scheme was उसके ऊपर ये allegations लगते थे कि the food that is provided, उसकी quality, it is not up to the mark. Yes, Venkatadri, you are very right. It is useful in implementing the National Education Policy 2.0. Right? The National Education Policy, which seeks to improve educational outcomes in the country. उसको implement करने के लिए these two schemes are very important. Midday meal scheme के ऊपर ही criticisms लगते थे that the food provided is not nutritious enough. There were quality issues, there were availability issues, there were caste biases seen in rural areas. These problems remain to a certain extent. They have not been completely eradicated away. Teachers training is a problem. Teacher to student ratio is a problem. Now government is saying that it will focus on AI. We can see it here in the article itself. It is mentioned that the report pointed out that in October, the Education Ministry announced that AI and computational thinking will be introduced from grade 3. However, this report warns that without ethical frameworks, without teacher training, and over-reliance on AI could diminish independent thinking in younger learners. I mean, first improve the basic problems that are there. First improve these problems, right? First improve the quality of the midday meal scheme. First improve the infrastructure, the transport barriers, the cost burden. Make it cost effective, make it better quality. And thereafter, we can focus on AI and technology. They are different things. In fact, a lot of places they are coming across as a role model wherein these technologies and AI is leveraged to teach students where there is absence of teachers, where there is shortage of teachers. वहाँ पे AI tools को leverage किया जा रहा है by certain social organizations, NGOs to impart education to children. All right, but the problem remains. The government is working towards it, and that was the news analysis for today. I hope you all had a good understanding of the news we discussed today. Please revise it. Okay. today I couldn't find direct PYQs linked to this topic, so I did not attach it. In the subsequent classes, if I will find a PYQ, then I will attach it in the PDF itself. We will solve PYQs here also, because knowledge is important as well as application of that knowledge is also very important. Manish is asking all subjects timetable. We are not going subject wise here, Manish. We are covering news as and when it comes, and therein itself we are discussing these news and we are discussing the static part linked to it. So I don't think there is any question that pertains to subject as such. That was all for today. Thank you very much for joining this live session. We'll see each other soon. Keep revising, keep learning. Thank you.